Good morning and welcome back to Cold Waters with Captain Numpty, or David Steele. And this is kind of my boat. I'm in a Skipjack revision today, or a Skipjack Class II, or a Reimagined Skipjack. And we're experimenting with the 2000 campaign, that's the South China Sea. And, well, I really want to put this this revised boat through its paces. So here's our mission. We're sent to intercept a wolf pack of enemy attack boats operating between Taiwan and the Philippines. So long and short are they're sinking fishing boats, so we're going to go and give them a bloody nose. Now, the Skipjack II has got some pretty significant improvements over the original. It's faster, it's quieter, it's deeper diving, it's a little bit more agile, and it's got much more modern sensors. Let's see, what have we got? It's been a while since I've jumped into this campaign. Plenty of ad caps and some harpoons. Okay. Oh, that's right, we've just visited Guam and got ourselves fully stocked up. Right, well, plenty of boats here. Let's, I think we're just gonna create havoc and sink stuff. Just being bounced by something. Alright, let's see how this goes. What's the worst that happens?
On sonar, lost contact.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Back emergency, maneuvering eye.
Speed down to 5 knots. There we go.
Make turns for 5 knots, maneuvering eye.
Right, we don't see anything or hear anything right now.
Con sonar, new contact bearing. 031. Designated Sierra 1. Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, that's a Han right off the bat. It's a Chinese
Passing 600 feet.
nuclear attack boat, first generation. We are not sometimes, I should say, we're not likely. Sometimes the Han operates by itself. So I suspect that this is not our primary target, but we'll
Make depth 200 feet, dive by.
still going to sink it. Let's see, I think it's got standoff missiles. Yeah, standoff against ships. So this could be causing havoc. And the YU-5, like an older generation Mark 46. Either way, let's switch to my boat. There's my boat here. Get ourselves up to surface, or up to 200 feet, I should say. Oh, he's actually diving now. That. I don't think he's detected us.
Passing 300 feet.
He's moving his depth around a bit. Okay. He's probably tweaking his just having a little listen. He's doing 10 knots though. He's going pretty quickly. I'm going to turn my flank towards him. We'll get a better shot here. But we'll get better acoustics, I should say. Still 10,000 yards away estimated.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is cavitating.
Right, now that's probably because he's doing the Chinese equivalent of a Crazy Ivan. He's cranked his speed up and he's going to be turning hard. I've actually got a good chance of getting something off towards him right now. Let's go ahead and launch.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
He may hear this,
Come left to 290, helm eye.
but he shouldn't, because if you look at the computer at the bottom right, his acoustics on me are minus 36 decibels in the passive. And to add, a launch adds 20 decibels. So I'm going to crank up to 15
Make
knots.
turns for 15 knots, maneuvering eye.
I'm going to make this torpedo live. He is probably deaf as a post.
Con 5.
It's a quiet
Con
him.
maneuvering, making turns for 15.
Passing 300 feet.
What I want to do is reverse my course and end up heading west-northwest and dive down. I imagine the depth here is 1900 feet.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
It's very deep here. So he's detected the torpedo. He's launched on that axis. That's kind of bad news because that leads him directly back to us. And he may have detected
Con
us.
sonar, noisemaker.
Con, helm, steady course.
Passing 400 feet.
I'm going to manually guide my torpedo using the numpad. Let's just keep getting it pointing towards the target. But let's turn it away for a little bit, and we'll turn it back. So I don't think they have aneroid coating. I think so. Oh. So we'll run it east for a bit, then we'll turn it north. I'm going to use the active sonar here.
Con. Passing 500 feet.
I'm going to adjust my course slightly by bringing me a little bit more north. I want to notch this torpedo. But actually, I'm going to head more towards it.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 047.
Got the hand. That's good. I'll crank my depth down. Switch back to
Passing
me.
600 feet.
Okay, switch back to me. Oh, I turned a little bit too much. Let's turn back the other way. So what I want to do now is just
Passing 700 feet.
get out of range of this torpedo. We can see it at the top of the screen here.
Passing 800 feet.
Probably should have set my course automatically, but there we go.
Passing 900 feet.
Kept my speed at 15 knots. I didn't firewall the throttle and go to flank speed just in
Passing
case.
1,000 feet.
Just in case there's something else out here. I don't think there is.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
I think there is, but there might be. So we're going to level off somewhere close to our test depth of 1,400 feet. This torpedo is theory.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Passing
longer.
1,200. Rig ship for ultra quiet.
No longer a threat. It's gone live unless it's going to circle. Which even then, yeah, it's not going to detect us. So this torpedo is what 1,000 yards away, give or take, a little bit further. Yeah, it's not a threat. Switch back to my view. We might see the enemy submarine sinking. Yeah, there we go. Right, well I'm going to accelerate time, but that wasn't really a challenge. Skipjack II. Hands disappeared, so I guess it just imploded. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. It's about 1,400 feet or deeper. Well, that was straightforward. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to pause the recording. Back with the next encounter. And here we are. No sooner had we finished the previous encounter, and I went to move, and we got bounced by something else. So,
On sonar, lost contact.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
let's get my speed down to 5 knots. It sounds like there's something
Make
close
turns
to
forward
us
5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
on the surface. So,
Con sonar, new contact bearing 131. Designated Sierra 2.
Come left 212. Helm aye.
that sounds like it's a pack of them. So I'm gonna bet that there's a reasonable chance.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 078. Designated Sierra 4.
It's like an Alpha class boat. It's interesting. But what is pinging me though? Is this really an Alpha? Say that.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
Con, helm, steady course.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as merchant.
Is this truly an Alpha and is it actively pinging me? And it seems like it. He's also turned away from me as well. So let's get my depth. Let's
Passing
get
600 feet.
depth to match him. He's about 400 feet right now.
Make depth 400 feet. Dive aye.
I think what we'll do is we'll check out these merchants. They might be Chinese merchants. They might be not be Chinese. And if they're Chinese, I'll have less of a concern, which is a bit bad of me, but less of a concern if they accidentally get hit by a torpedo flying their way. Let's see. This Alpha's acoustics on me are -50, so it's either running at high speed at long distance or it's got its tail to me. See, these other merchants not got a great acoustics on them, but we will. Let's accelerate time, I think.
Con, dive at 400 feet, dive I.
Some merchants coming towards me. It's 1,000 yards away. Right, we should be able to get a good visual of him. He's right on top of us. In fact, let's go to my boat. See him. We should be able to see him. I just got to look in the right direction. Well, either way, I know he's right there. Let's switch to his view. Well, that's definitely Chinese, and they look suspicious. They're green. So he's probably unarmed. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I'm gonna feel bad, in a way, sinking him, but it's a war zone. He's got the Chinese flag on him. So I kind of feel I should take him out. Sierra 3 is a much bigger merchant vessel, and I'll get a pretty good acoustics on him in a little bit, but he's some distance away. Luckily I have harpoons. I'm going to prepare a harpoon here. And just for what it's worth, let's get up to periscope depth.
Make depth 5 feet, dive I.
I could launch at this guy immediately. I think what I want to do is maybe just check the other one first, see what it is, and see if I can attack both at the same time. The Alpha's got a chance of detecting the launch, especially if we slow down. Let's see which he has. Okay, well, to me. So, in a sense,
torpedo room, tube 5 ready.
in a sense, what I'm doing is I'm going to be baiting the Alpha. Let's get some more harpoons loaded. Baiting the Alpha to reveal his exact location through firing a torpedo at him, or through firing a harpoon, I should say, at the merchant vessels. It's not potentially not the most ethical way of warfare. But a lot of people would question if a submarine truly is an ethical form of warfare because you're hard to detect. Anyone, if you can surprise the enemy, if you can wear camouflage, if he doesn't know you're there or she doesn't know you're there, that's an advantage. And you don't bring a knife to a gunfight. So, let's accelerate time.
Torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Alright, we're up to periscope depth, so let's pop the sensors.
Up scope.
Should give us a pretty good view of everything now. Okay, so let's look at M3. M3 is friendly, I believe, which is fine. 4 we've already discovered. M2 is friendly. Okay. So we loaded those weapons. We didn't need them. That's fine.
Down scope.
Slight element of, I wouldn't say regret, but I was hoping to sink some ships, but okay. I think what I'm going to do then is I need a little bit of distance between me and the M4 target. So we'll let this pan out a little bit. Let's just keep a tabs on this. 10 knots, okay.
Con, dive at 5 feet, dive I.
Oh, he's pinged.
Torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
But he can't detect me, right? Is he moving at speed? I guess he must be. Alright, let's start time
torpedo
again.
room, tube 5 ready.
Oh, he's actually fairly close. He's closer than we thought, because look at the the speed at which he's moving across the map. Check M4 again. 2,000 yards. Let's get this torpedo up. Let's surface running. Let's essentially going to send it 700 yards. If this wire breaks, I could be in trouble. I'm going to crash dive. That should get the Alpha's attention, but
Shoot tube 4.
it
Aye,
didn't.
sir.
So we're good. So let's
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
point the torpedo towards the target. I'm going to get my depth down anyway to about the 400 feet point. Now, has the Alpha responded? Let's see. He may have heard that, but he's not taken any action yet. But supposing he's slowed right down because his acoustics on me are better.
Passing 100 feet.
So, switch to my torpedo. It's yeah, there's the target. We'll accelerate time here and we'll slow down for the engagement.
Passing 200 feet.
Okay, so do something like this.
Passing 300 feet.
Con sonar lost contact. Master, bore. Last bearing, 30. Bore. Contact breaking up.
I'm pretty certain he would have heard that. Certain that he did. Okay, so that's got his attention. And he's still some distance. So it's track south. I think there's just one.
Passing 400 feet.
Don't think that there's more than one. And I think this is just a lone wolf, a lone alpha. Depth where it should be, like so. That's good enough. Let's check. Oh, he's gone up to the surface. Oh, he's gone up to 150 feet, give or take. Okay, that's fine. I'm happier at slightly deeper depth anyway. Let's
Con,
accelerate time.
torpedo room.
Con.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Ultra quiet for what it's worth. He can't hear nothing. Got no idea where I am. He just knows that a merchant ship mysteriously exploded. Weird. Let's see. I think he's quite a bit closer than 25,000 yards.
Passing 400 feet.
Come up a little bit.
Passing 300 feet.
It's gonna help.
Passing 200 feet.
Okay. He's got some... He might pick me up on active sonar, but he's not pinged for a time. I'm gonna turn east. I'm gonna cross his path here. I really want to point my towed array towards him. Slightly east, but that's good enough. And having the towed array mics that sit behind my boat, combined with the mics on the fuselage for the sonar, we should get a better indication of exactly where he is and how far away he is. 53% solution, we can see that from the bottom left. 17,000 yards estimated range. So it's coming down as he's approaching us. Turn about 75, 075, like so. Presenting my flank to him, yeah, he would get a good return on his active sonar if he pinged me right now, which is okay. That's if he pings me, he pretty much thinks he knows where I am. Tempted to fire. Hear me if I've launched? Yeah, he'd be. So I could just point my nose towards him. I'd just do that.
Come right to 161 helm I.
The reason why I'm pointing my nose towards him is it's going to reduce his active sonar.
Con helm steady course.
contact just a little, but it's going to shorten the time it takes for my torpedo to be able to, when it goes live, to be able to detect him. I'm going to launch this torpedo and make it immediately active. And that alphas don't have aneroic coating, so torpedoes get a pretty good return off them. 8,000 yards is about where I want to be. Let's drop my depth and go ahead and push the nose forwards a little bit. Quite a lot of it, but we'll trim that back. So I want to run to 15 knots.
200 feet.
I gotta be 200 feet for that, so yeah, that's good enough. I don't want to go accelerate just yet. We look at this now. I'm sinking quicker than you might think, given the fact that that my nose is not pointing down quite so much.
Passing 300 feet.
So that's good. The reason why I'm going for depth is I want to be about 650 feet because I'm going to crank this bad boy up to flank speed. If he detects me, I'm going to lose the wire, but I'm going to need that speed to be able to evade his counterfire or my own Mark 48. Now I have a good solution. Let's just check visual on him. Not much to see. He's just coming to
Passing
investigate.
400 feet.
He's got a big surprise waiting for him. Yeah, we can see me there. Okay, I think it's time we introduce him to our friend, Mr. Mark 48. So let's configure this like that. Do this. We'll go live pretty much immediately. Let's crank up to 15 knots straight away.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering on.
He started to hear me, and I'm going to make it this thing active. Maybe not
Passing.
just
Con
yet.
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1. Come right to.
There
Con
goes his-
sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
It's a spread of torpedoes. Good grief.
Come left to
A lot of torpedoes.
093. Helm I.
Is turning to his port. So, do we see his torpedoes speeding away? No.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1.
But from
7,
this view-
0.
Look at that.
Passing 600 feet.
4 torpedoes and a noisemaker. Pretty much at 650 feet. We'll do that. And we're going to make this torpedo.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
It went live and it's getting up to his depth. I'm going to turn back towards him. I can't get out of range of these torpedoes approaching me, so I'm just going to hit him, go head on.
Come right to 180. Helm I.
I think what I want to try and do is just
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 184. Con sonar lost contact. Master 2, last bearing 012. Con helm, steady course.
what I'm trying to do.
Sonar, torpedo in
didn't
the
work.
water.
Okay.
Torpedo in the water.
What I
Bearing
wanted to do was
172.
close the distance, but that hasn't worked.
Passing
Now, I
700 feet.
really want to keep my torpedo firing locked on him, so that's going to be a challenge.
Con sonar
Got him.
lost.
Go. Okay.
Make
Go.
turns for 37 knots. Maneuvering I.
All right. We managed it. What I wanted to do was keep my torpedo wire just in
Passing
case.
800 feet.
He managed to avoid it. So those few seconds
Passing 900
might
feet.
cost me getting tracked by this
Passing
torpedo.
1,000 feet.
But so far, it's
Passing
worked.
1,100 feet.
Huh, look at that.
Passing 1,200 feet.
Depth. Present my tail to
Passing
this
1,300 feet.
torpedo. I want to give him the minimum active sonar contact. There we go, that's close enough. We're pretty much at our test depth, and we're fleeing. Okay, so the reason why we've dove down deep is because it's a greater distance between me and the torpedo, and the reason why we've given our
Con,
tail
torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
to him is it's the smaller sonar contact. Now that torpedo might detect the alpha, or might have detected the alpha sinking, but it doesn't. It looks like it detected something. Just don't know quite what it was. Yeah, let's switch to the map view, I think. Yeah, so see how the torpedoes formed a sort of figure of 8? That pretty much means It's sniffing something, and it might be changing its depth. I think we're out of the danger zone.
Making turns for 37 knots.
We're speeding away at 37 knots. We're not as quick as an Alpha, but we're not far. I'm going to drop my speed now.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Now the risk here, this torpedo to my my west side even shouldn't detect me. I'm quite a bit deeper than it is, and its sensor cone's quite narrow. If one of the torpedoes that I'm kind of following is set to circle, I'm close enough to at least the one right ahead of me should be okay. It shouldn't detect me. I've got 1,000 yards between me and the other ones. These things have a detection range of, I think, 880, but...
Con sonar regained contact on. Master 2, bearing 015.
Check that it still uses set 65s. Set 65Ms, okay. It's actually 1,500 yards. Ooh, that could have been quite embarrassing, David. But there we go. They're not going to detect me. So, I'm good. I'm clean, scot-free.
Con sonar regained contact on. Master 3, bearing 191.
Actually, I'm Scottish, but anyway. Right, well that just about concludes this engagement. I'm going to pause the recording. All we're going to happen now, these torpedoes are just going to keep pinging away. They're not going to detect me, and I'm going to conclude the battle. So I'll pause the recording, and I'll be back at the next engagement, and hopefully find that pack, and we can give them a what to. I'll be back. Okay. Two potential targets here. One to the east, one to the west. The one on the east has got surface escort. I spent so much time talking around, I didn't actually get to engage it. That's a shame. That's very disappointing, to be fair. Plus, we didn't really get to test the new Skipjack II either. Yeah. Newspapers. Well, I'll take some comfort in the fact that in the 24 years since this newspaper, World News, announced Terror from the Deep and took them, explain how the US Navy was sucked, they don't exist as a business in the same way anymore, so who's sucking now? Alright, an amphibious landing. Oh, I like these. These can be a lot of fun. They can also be extremely dangerous. So basically we've got to defend Taiwan from a landing force arriving at Kaohsiung. I have no idea if I said that correctly. If I said it very incorrectly, please let me know and be kind. I'm not great at pronunciation. Right, well, our mission is to intercept and destroy a task force. How hard can that be? Yeah, pretty hard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to preload a couple of harpoons. Because, oh, I don't actually need to, thinking about it. Typically you get maybe 2 or 3 escorts and maybe 1 to 3 to 5 landing ships. But we're fairly early on in the campaign. It'd be nice to have them ready. And got 4 torpedoes, I mean, I'm not going to need more. Alright, let's continue on course. So, this is where we need to be. And typically there'll be a fleet that will be making a beeline right for the objective, like, not like that one. We don't see it yet. And I could go and engage that surface fleet, but I don't really feel like provoking them just yet. Although, position myself some way out, slightly deeper water, that might be useful, and it might encourage them to come and attack me. Not yet. Oh, there we go. That's probably the surface. These are probably not the attack fleet, but we'll find out.
On sonar, new contact bearing.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay. Now, if this is...
sonar, new contact bearing 350. Designated Sierra 2.
This is a typical
Con
Chinese...
sonar, new contact bearing 292. Designated Sierra 3.
Typical Chinese anti-submarine warfare patrol. It's just a couple of ships, warships, and that's it. But
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as escort.
And the Ludo and the Jack Janeway are the fairly typical vessels that you'd find. So if this is a merchant ship, it's probably not our primary target. That doesn't mean we shouldn't sink them.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as merchant.
So one of the tricks that you can do in the South China Sea, I'm just adjusting my chair here a little bit. One of the tricks that you can do is you can pop your sensors on the surface. Now, I don't know if there's any airborne contact here or not. I guess I could push F4 and find out. Yes, there is. There's at least one helo. And there's a... Okay, that makes life a little harder. There's a helo and a fixed wing. But what you can do, you can pop your surface sensors, get a good reading for where the enemy is, and fire a couple of harpoons right off the bat. Now, these warships will have anti-missile defenses, but if you sneak the attack, they'll typically turn towards you because they're foolish like that, where they have pretty poor close-in weapon system coverage. Now, I happen to be at just the right depth to make that
Make
this
depth
happen.
4 by feet. Dive by.
Ooh, it's interesting. Yeah, we may have to, we may get
Con,
attacked.
dive at 4 by feet. Dive by.
So another trick you can do, and something I've fallen foul of before, is I've manually popped the surface sensors down and then manually push forward and gone deep. But that's sometimes not worked. It hasn't dropped all of the masts, and they then get damaged when I accelerate past 10 knots. So use the emergency deep command here on the left. It's actually Shift T, it turns out, as it's a keyboard command. Use that, and it drops your masts in as well. Well, having told you what I'm going to do, let's try it.
Up scope.
Alright. Actually pointing towards me already, so...
Shoot 2-5.
1,
Aye, sir. Shoot
2.
2-6. Aye, sir.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Alright. Now, the advantage of having the harpoons in successive tubes is you can quickly push F and select the next
Passing
torpedo
100
tube.
feet.
So, this is me. I am smoke behind me. I'm dive.
Passing 200 feet.
Check. Yeah, we've got plenty of depth here.
Passing 300 feet.
Let's F3 the
Con sonar,
harpoons.
Passing 400 feet.
That's number 1. Well, that's this
Passing
session
500 feet.
number 1.
Passing 600 feet.
I'm going to turn south
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
away from the victims.
Passing 800
Sorry,
feet.
the targets even.
Passing 900 feet.
I'll level my dive planes.
Steady course.
Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,100 feet.
Stop my ballast. Alright, so I'm going to level out around about the 1,200 feet point. Pretty much at flank speed. Okay, there goes his chaff. Oh, interesting. We lost the missile. I don't know what happened.
Con sonar,
Oh.
lost contact. Master 1, last bearing 334. Contact breaking up.
Well, it looks like we sunk one, but the other one managed to escape. But that was pretty effective right now. That's interesting. That is an anti-submarine missile coming my way. So, good job. I'm moving away. And that's the sinking...
Con, torpedo room, tube 6 ready.
sinking warship. So we got one. 1 for 2. I'm happy with that.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 37 knots.
Right, we are now running away. Again, I'm happy with that too. So, depending on where this this missile drops that they've just fired at me, it may escape that as well.
Passing
So-
1,200 feet.
By showing them my ass, effectively, I'm giving them a smaller profile I can. In fact, let me show you what I mean there. That's the size of the profile. That if this directly behind me, that's what it's going to see. Now, of course, when the torpedo drops, it's going to be seeing something like, well, depending how far away it
Con
is.
sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing
Okay.
000.
So that's bad because yeah, it's coming down.
Passing 1,300 feet.
I'm actually going to give it
Knuckle
a
form.
knuckle and see if that's going to help. But I suspect we may get lucky here. What I was trying to say is that this thing is going to be active We're presenting the smallest possible. Yeah, it's detecting me. Oh well. Smallest possible turn that we can give it. There's another one. So they actually had a very good idea where I was, which doesn't surprise me because it's making a ton of noise. Plus they could see all the smoke. So now it's a bit of a race. These torpedoes are not particularly quick. Let's see what. It's the looters. I wonder if we can tell what that is. I think it was a looter that fired. So it's a CY1, I reckon. Homing YU7. I don't know what the YU7's performance specs are, but it is overhauling me, but not that quickly. So there's a chance if we just keep the throttle pegged and head south, this torpedo will run out of fuel before it reaches me. What's going to affect that is evasive action, because well, there's a
Knuckle formed.
It's a fixed-wing aircraft there, and it looks like they've dropped another torpedo at me. I can try using knuckles to see if it will distract them, but it may have done. That causes the torpedo to turn away, and that, if I am clever with my distance, my own position, I can escape or be further away from it when it detects me again. Almost managing it. See, is it further away? It's that's 1,000 yards. Not really that much further away, unfortunately. Oh well. Yeah, and the fact that this this fixed wing aircraft, he has dropped, I think, a depth charge, so we are going to rapidly change course because this depth charge is programmed for my depth. I'm actually going to ascend as well. Want to be
Passing 1,300 feet.
in a different depth.
Knuckle formed. Passing 1,200 feet.
When that thing happens upon me.
Passing 1,100 feet.
To be fair, it might have been a sonar boy, but I don't think it was.
Knuckle formed.
So I'm not unduly concerned about the torpedoes chasing me. It's the depth charges that cause me more of a concern.
Knuckle formed.
They're positively lethal in this game. Which I suppose makes sense. And that sounds like they dropped something. And the skipjack is... both skipjacks.
Knuckle formed.
Kind of fragile, let's just say.
Passing 1,100 feet.
Depth charges. So they knew the depth I was at.
Passing 1,100 feet.
So I'm going to change my depth again. We need to keep them guessing.
Passing 1,000 feet.
He's back again for another attack.
Passing 900 feet. Knuckle formed. Passing 800 feet.
Interesting, he dropped a torpedo at me.
Passing 800 feet. Passing 900 feet.
It looks like...
Passing 1,000 feet.
yeah, the torpedo that was
Passing
pursuing me for a
1,100
while
feet.
has given up. It's lost.
Passing 1,200 feet.
It lost me. One that's above us,
Passing 1,300 feet.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to detect us soon enough. I could drop my speed to 0 knots and just wait it out underneath it, but that's not going to work with this enemy fixed-wing aircraft circling around. So it's going to keep it pegged. Go down to our test depth. May actually change that plan in just a second. Yep, we are.
Knuckle formed.
Just drop something. Yeah, well, it's a sonar boy, but all the
Passing
same.
1,300 feet.
They're a little unhappy with me because I
Passing
sent one of
1,200 feet.
the little boats. They're unhappy with me. Oh,
Passing
diddums.
1,100 feet.
We've actually managed
Passing
to
1,000 feet.
avoid the other torpedo, which is pretty nifty.
Passing 900 feet.
So far, anyway.
Passing 800 feet.
Something blew up. Let's get my depth down again to
Passing 800 feet.
reduce the chance of this torpedo picking me up as it increases the distance.
Passing 900 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,200 feet.
Another torpedo blowing up in the distance.
Passing 1,300
Yeah,
feet.
I'm going to keep my ballast down
Passing
and
1,300 feet.
change the pitch of my boat to try and arrest my ascent
Passing 1,200 feet.
and then allow me to drop back down again pretty quickly.
Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,200 feet.
Okay, so another torpedo blown up under behind me. I think I can go into sneak mode. Let's go ahead and do that.
quiet.
No, let's keep it at 15 knots.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I had a sudden thought. So the problem with sneaking at 5 knots is that they have a pretty good idea where you are. Really aren't maneuverable at that speed. Yeah, he's just flown right over me.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
Okay, let's keep it at this. And let's just watch what he does. Let's accelerate time. Right, it's coming around again. See how he's right over me again? Yeah, that's not good. Oh, change course. He can almost certainly hear me as well.
Come left to 173. Helm aye. Con helm. Steady course.
Let's watch him again. Yeah, he knows exactly where I am. I'm changing my course to be more southwest. And I'm going to keep it at 15 knots. Let's see what he does. What is he doing? He may have given up. Okay, that's good. Well, he may have given up. Let's see if we can disengage. We can. Okay, so 2 harpoons, 1 warship, and some evasion. I'm happy with how well the Skipjack II is performing, but that's not my primary target. So, yeah, let's... I want to kill these surface ships. But nothing yet. Oh. Still nothing. Okay, what I want to do is let's pause the recording for just a little bit and see what happens when I get back. Well, that'll teach me. Looks like this is our target. So let's go ahead and prep the boat. Let's get a couple of harpoons ready like we did before. For what it's worth, I'll set these to surface run. There's a small chance that there's a submarine involved here as well, but not so likely. And let's hit it. Let's see what happens.
Sonar new contact.
Make depth 4, 5 feet. Dive high.
Okay, so there's a good chance that
Sonar new contact.
Con, dive at 4, 5 feet. Dive high.
the warships are here.
Sonar new contact bearing 301. Designated Sierra 3. Sonar new contact bearing 296. Designated Sierra 4.
Wow, it's a few warships
Sonar
already.
new contact bearing 290. Designated Sierra 5.
One landing ship at least.
Sonar Sierra 4 is classified as merchant.
How many ships did they bring?
Sonar new contact bearing 265. Designated Sierra 7.
Oh, they brought enough then. Okay.
Sonar new contact bearing 306. Designated Sierra 8.
Come left to 298. Helm I.
I'm gonna point my nose at them so that there's
Sonar Sierra 7 is classified as merchant.
less chance of their active sonar picking me up.
Sonar Sierra 8 is classified as merchant.
Okay, they're gonna have an airborne escort with that many. Well, you know what? I would assume so, but let's check. F4. Yep, there's one helicopter. Another one. Fixed wing. Great. Okay. So, the dilemma we have here is 2 helos, 1 fixed wing. Some of these LSTs do have... LST is it's a landing ship. Some of them have got anti-missile guns, yep. And it looks like there are 4. Luhu, Chengdu, and then a Jianghu. So we've got 3 and 3. I've got two harpoons. This thing here, the I don't know how you pronounce that. Sierra 4 doesn't have anti-missile gun, which is great.
Helm, steady course.
There's only one of them, and its buddies will give it extra cover. So I'm going to pop my sensors. This is going to get extremely busy in no short order of time. I don't know how effective my harpoons will be, but I'm going to go ahead and try them since I explained how they could work. So let's see what happens.
Raise the radar mast.
Ooh, that's not going to be very effective, but we'll try. In fact, we'll actually go for the warships.
Shoot tube 5. Aye, sir. Shoot tube 6. Aye, sir. Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
Come left to 2-1.
Crash dive.
Helm I. Make turns for 3.
Sonar, we are cavitating.
And we know that we're going to lose the wire on this torpedo.
Fire control.
There we go.
Sonar lost contact. Master 1.
Passing 100 feet.
That's completely fine. I'm okay with that.
Sonar lost contact.
Passing 200 feet.
Here come the bad boys.
Sonar.
Passing 300
Ooh,
feet.
we got a warship.
Passing 400 feet. Passing 500 feet. Passing 600 feet. Passing
Sonar no longer cavitating.
Okay,
Passing
that's probably a
800
torpedo.
feet.
Yeah, it is. Right.
Sonar, torpedo
So-
in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 058.
The enemy is on point with their submarine and anti-submarine warfare, which is good. We are on point with getting away, hopefully.
Con, knuckle formed.
So I'm going to present the smallest target I can to this torpedo. I'm going to get my depth down to about 1,400 feet.
Passing 900 feet.
What I really want to do is shake this torpedo off if I can.
Passing 1,000 feet.
So, and there's
Passing
another one.
1,100 feet.
I don't think it's going to be in range to detect me, but the one, this one, the closer
Passing
one,
1,200 feet.
most definitely is.
Con, knuckle formed.
Now the problem with giving a knuckle is that what it can do is
Con
alert
maneuvering, making turns for 37 knots.
the torpedo that there's something it needs to go and investigate. That's 4, that's 5. Okay, that's quite a few torpedoes dropped on me. That's interesting.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 0, 6, 8.
And it detected me pretty much straight
Con,
away, which
torpedo room, tube 6 ready.
Con, knuckle formed.
I kind of
Passing
expected it
1,300 feet.
to do. Okay, well, I have been named as Mr. Evasion in some of the comments on YouTube. I've taken it as a compliment. It might not be, because as a submarine driver, you really don't want to have to evade, but I guess I am. So let's see if I can prove my namesake right now,
Con, knuckle formed.
because that looks like it's 2 tracking, or 1 might have decided it can no longer detect me, and the 1 most definitely close enough.
Con, knuckle formed.
Now we don't want to exceed 1400 feet, as if we do take a knock at below 1400 feet, we typically detonate, we implode. But it's nice to be at that depth.
Con, knuckle formed.
And knuckle this torpedo away. So I'm guessing we didn't get the other escort because something's still pinging me.
Con, knuckle formed.
But I did hear something explode. So I don't know what we hit. Maybe there's something else out there that we didn't detect.
Con, knuckle formed.
And you can just see the top left. Hopefully YouTube compression won't remove that, but there's a sonar buoy being dropped.
Passing 1,400 feet. Passing 1,400 feet.
So we're at test depth right now.
Con, knuckle formed.
May have to rapidly change my depth.
Passing 1,400 feet.
Oh, it actually drops a torpedo on me. Okay, so that's good, right? It's not good.
Passing 1,400 feet. Con, knuckle formed.
Right, switch back to the map view here. I'm happy to head back towards the targets because
Con, knuckle formed.
they're going to be fleeing the scene. We've done really well to avoid most of these torpedoes. The Skipjack II's sort of aneroic coating and small size is really useful here. There's 2 active sonar pings, and some of the landing ships have got an active sonar too.
Con, knuckle formed.
So watch this. I'm not sure what he just dropped.
Con, knuckle formed.
But I guess it wasn't a depth charge because we're still alive. Okay. This torpedo may be about to lose interest in me as well. I've managed to... Okay, it's 500 yards. Not yet then.
Con, knuckle formed.
I'm able to throw it off. I absolutely will. And then we can see if we can sneak up to the enemy. Now that's going to be a challenge. So they're pretty on point with knowing where I am. So see, now it's about 1,000 yards away, and there's a good chance it's going to not detect me again, which I'm very happy about. Let's see, is this going to work? Yes, it has. Wonderful. Okay. That torpedo's lost interest in us. It can't detect me anymore. Everything else can. Everything else with the microphone's going to hear this noisy boat making a ton of noise. So let's drop that down to 15
Make
knots.
turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Change
Passing
my
1,400
depth
feet.
just a little bit. So we'll reduce the depth as we let the speed come off.
Con sonar regained.
Passing 1,300 feet. Passing 1,200 feet. Passing 1,100 feet.
Will do me. So they'll let the boat
Con
even out there.
maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
Now, that torpedo
Passing 1,000 feet.
that we can see to our northwest is the one I fired. Now, let's see, has it detected anything? Hard to say. I don't know that it has.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing.
Oh,
3,
maybe it
1,
has.
3.
Or maybe not. Because something's... I guess that's a warship. That must be the Chengdu to the north of it. Okay. I thought we hit something else, but maybe we didn't. That's not good sound. That's the sound of depth charges.
Make turns for 37 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Might be the sound of depth charges.
Rig ship for ultra quiet. Passing 1,100 feet.
Okay, I'm glad I descended because,
Con sonar lost contact.
Passing
ooh, we
1,200
got something. Good lads.
Make turns for 15 knots.
We got a
Maneuvering
landing
eye.
ship. Okay. The objective is to sink 50%. Well, there's 3 landing ships. I've got to sink a second one. Okay, challenge accepted. But I need to get a little bit closer. Now that might have been damaged by a harpoon. We'll never know if it was. If something else was damaged, we might be able to detect that. That tells me that my torpedo was on point when I fired it.
Make turns
Oh,
for
wait.
37 knots. Maneuvering
That's
eye.
interesting. It's ahead of
Helm
me.
left 2, 303. Helm eye.
I'm going to try something. I'm right underneath it. Oh, it's descending.
Con
Okay,
helm.
never mind.
Steady course. Con sonar. Torpedo
Yeah,
in the water.
never mind.
Torpedo in the water. Bearing 294.
We forgot something else somewhere. Oh boy. Bird flaps. How to pop. See
Con
this,
sonar lost.
Con
this
knuckle
knuckle
formed.
works. Change my depth. Drop a noisemaker. I'm going to end up heading
Passing 1,200 feet.
back the way we came. Need to get my depth up,
Passing
up.
1,100 feet.
We're now vulnerable
helm.
to
Passing 1,000 feet.
anything else that might be pointing our way.
Passing 900 feet.
It's coming around behind me.
Passing 800 feet.
The noisemakers should hopefully distract
Passing
it.
700 feet.
It is good.
Con sonar. We are cavitating.
I don't want to cavitate, but so I'm gonna get my depth back to 650. Come on, come on. I don't really want to slow down.
Passing 600 feet.
There's a ton of noise I'm making by cavitating.
Con sonar. No longer cavitating.
I think we've so far avoided
Con
that.
maneuvering. Making turns for 37 knots.
Right. So see how that torpedo got a little bit of a detection on me.
Con knuckle formed.
I'm going to try and knuckle it away and see if that works. Just confuse it enough, but something else is actively pinging me, so...
Con knuckle formed.
Bet you it's the warship to my west. Yeah, I think it is. So we're going to head that way and give them something to think about. Right under this sonar buoy. That's completely fine. We don't mind doing that. This torpedo's still got me, but there we go. Ooh, that's not good sound.
Con sonar lost contact. Master
Okay.
last bearing
Con, knuckle formed.
Trying to box me in. That's fine. Box me in all you like, chaps. I'm a
Con,
submarine.
sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 3, 2, 6.
Passing 800 feet.
I'm in a cat. Nobody tells me what to do.
Passing 900 feet.
Except maybe the torpedo that's
Passing
approaching me.
1,000 feet.
And which one, you might say, because there are two.
Passing
Yes, thank you for
1,100
that.
feet.
I appreciate there are two approaching me.
Passing 1,200 feet.
We're going to exceed our test depth here. So it's test depth is just a recommendation. It's more like the pirate's code.
Passing 1,300 feet.
What we're going to do is we're going to do the numpty shuckle. I just made up that term. We're going to crack it on round like so.
Passing 1,400 feet.
There's a knuckle,
Passing
drop a noisemaker,
1,400 feet.
and we're going to turn back north and head to periscope depth. Or
Come right to 0, 0.
rise like a
Helm
fart
high.
in a bath. The numpty shuckle.
Passing 1,200 feet. Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,000 feet.
Con,
Ooh.
sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo
Um.
in the water, bearing 1, 0, 4.
Yeah, that's
Passing 700 feet.
it's
Passing
interesting.
600.
Con, sonar, we are
There goes some
cavitating.
depth charges.
Passing 500 feet.
And we're going to rise up
Passing
here,
400 feet.
like so. We'll let the thing
Passing
flatten out.
300 feet.
Flatten out
Passing 200 feet. Con,
I'm
knuckle formed.
very quickly. Let's turn away like this. So there's a whole bunch of them just loitering behind me. Let's see how well that this can actually cause them to not detect me. Well, we think maybe one has. It might be working.
Con, knuckle formed.
This may not work in some vessels that are a little chunky. I can't imagine this working in, say, the Narwhal, the Los Angeles for that matter. Yeah, look, the torpedoes get distracted by all the noise around them, and I'm going to knuckle this bad boy away as well,
Con, knuckle formed.
if I can, like so. Yep. I'm going to descend as quickly as I can.
Passing 200 feet.
So I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, it
Passing 300 feet.
figured out what I was going to do, which I'm fine. I really want to
Passing
head
400 feet.
northwest anyway.
Passing 500 feet. Passing 600 feet.
Go with a middle depth just to stop
Con,
myself
sonar,
from
no longer
cavitating.
cavitating.
So,
Passing 700 feet.
hey, that was a stroke of luck.
Con, knuckle formed.
It's a big stroke of luck, okay. 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 I figured that's
Con, knuckle formed.
they're gonna detect me, but this boat makes it quite easy to evade them. I'm gonna turn towards it right now. That was another one. Okay. That is definitely gonna pick me up. But
Con, knuckle.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water,
There we
bearing
go.
0, 8, 4.
drop my depth again. Like so, we're gonna turn back towards this
Con,
torpedo
knuckle formed.
to my southwest.
Passing 800 feet.
It made a pretty aggressive maneuver there, and this may not.
Passing 900 feet.
This should work.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Nobody likes the word should. Okay.
Passing 1,100 feet.
Right, well, I can get underneath it at
Passing
least.
1,200 feet.
Which is good. Depth, depth,
Make
depth.
turns for 2, 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
A bit of distance between me. It's a knuckle again.
Con, knuckle formed.
One that's
Passing
chasing me.
1,500 feet.
Still
Con,
chasing me.
maneuvering.
Okay.
Making turns for 2.
Con, knuckle formed.
The knuckle. There we go. That's helped. And I'm below my test depth, so I'm a little vulnerable if I get hit at this depth, but so far so good. Yes, I've got 2 torpedoes chasing me, but we're not going to worry about those right now. They're well clear. Oh, look at that. Well, that's a nice little result. However, this other one is not going to be such a nice little result. So we're going to... Oh, that's very bad. We must be close to a warship. Dang. That's what happens when you lose situation awareness. So,
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water,
yeah.
in the water, bearing,
Okay.
2, 3, 5.
We made this much harder than we needed to, I think.
Passing 1,300 feet.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad.
Passing 1,200 feet.
Oh, the depth charges.
Passing 1,100 feet.
I believe the Germans have a term for this.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Okay.
Con, knuckle formed.
A few torpedoes are following me now. Let's throw them all off. Look at
Passing
that.
800 feet.
Good lads.
Passing 700 feet.
Yeah, I might have to drop my depth a little bit now. We're being fired upon again by another hedgehog. It's disappointing.
Passing 700 feet.
They thought I was pretty deep. I wasn't, but I will be next time they fire at me.
Passing 800 feet.
Ooh,
Con,
you're
knuckle formed.
bugger, you're close.
Passing 900 feet.
Alright, I'm going to try something very, very aggressive here, but
Back
I'm out of
emergency,
options.
Maneuvering I.
Let's do that.
Make turns for
you.
7 knots. Maneuvering I.
And let's see if that works.
Con, fire control.
Passing 1,200 feet.
Go, 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 little Mark
Con,
48.
knuckle formed. Passing 1,300 feet.
What I've done is fired a torpedo at this boat, and
Passing
I'm
1,400 feet.
it detects it and kills it. Because it would be very sneaky if it did. Why is it not detecting anything?
Con, sonar, regained contact on. Master, 3, bearing, 2, 6, 6.
Well, that's disappointing.
Con, sonar, lost contact. Master, 4, last bearing, 3, 1, 3, contact faded.
Passing
Well.
1,400 feet.
We're going to have to maneuver again to evade
Con,
the
sonar, lost contact.
Passing 1,300 feet.
incoming depth charges. Oh, here
Passing
comes an aircraft
1,200
just
feet.
to join in with the fun.
Passing 1,100 feet.
That's really bad.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Okay,
Con,
that's not so
knuckle
bad.
formed.
Right, by
Passing
massively
800 feet.
reducing our depth. This
Passing
thing is
700
right behind
feet.
me. We're able to avoid those depth charge
Con,
attacks,
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
which is just wonderful.
Make
But the
turns
problem
for
is
0 knots. Maneuvering I.
that I can't do that forever.
Make turns for 1, 5
So what I wanna
knots.
do-
Maneuvering I.
A little bit of that. Okay, and
Con.
crank on again.
Make
Oh,
turns
this
for
isn't
3,
good. I
7
think he may have got the measure of me.
Maneuvering I.
Con, fire
Cause-
control. We've lost the wire.
How did I evade that?
Con, knuckle formed.
No idea, but thank goodness this thing's got good acceleration.
Passing 900 feet.
In the words
Passing
of,
1,000 feet.
I think it was Hollywood in the original Top Gun movie,
Passing
gutsiest move I
1100
ever
feet.
saw. I don't know quite how I survived that maneuver. That was very,
Con, sonar, lost contact. Master, 3, last bearing, 1, 2,
that was very
9,
lucky.
contact
You're
breaking
dead,
up.
pal. Well, look at that. 2 escorts and,
Con, knuckle formed.
these flyboys must be happy I don't have SAMs, because I take out some of those as well. Right. Have a knuckle.
Con, knuckle formed.
I don't really want to go for the other warship. I want to go for the other, well, they've got 2
Con,
other
torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
landing ships I really need to take an active interest in. Let's see if we can avoid this last torpedo by a
Passing
massive
1,100 feet.
depth change. There's the sinking warship,
Passing 1,000 feet.
very top of the screen.
Passing 900 feet.
I drop a noisemaker there, that might help it.
Passing 800
Might
feet.
help it.
Passing 700 feet.
Because we've done absolutely nothing, so I
Passing
wasted
six.
one.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Well,
Passing 500 feet. Passing 400 feet.
get up above the layer.
Passing 300 feet.
Actually, no. Let's, I could use that sinking warship to throw off the torpedo, but
Con, knuckle formed.
I don't really feel like using a warship
Passing
there.
300 feet.
Nothing like adding salt to a wound, right?
Passing 400 feet.
Con
Still
sonar lost contact. Master 1, last bearing 221. Contact for
Passing 500 feet.
We got Master 1. Huh. Okay.
Con, knuckle formed.
I don't know what that... Oh, I think I know what that was. That was a torpedo I fired that completely missed Master 3 and ended up sinking Master 1. That's funny. Well, that was lucky. There's another series. And we took
Passing
care
600
of...
feet.
Oh, that torpedo ran out of fuel. I don't know whether the Chinese torpedoes just don't have much fuel or I've been evading this thing for long enough, but we're about to stop cavitating. Supposed to
con
be very
sonar,
happy.
no longer cavitating.
So, trail of destruction has been left behind me and we still haven't accomplished our primary mission. We've taken out 4 ships and there's 2 more to go. I'm gonna, if I can,
Helm right 2. 3, 2, 4. Helm aye.
I'm gonna take out both.
Con, helm, steady course.
Ooh, okay. For what it's worth, let's look at where these airborne assets are. So he's near L1, M1 even, as is he, and this guy is to the south of L1. Wow. Oh, no he's not. Oops. Okay, well they might have an idea where I am then. Oh boy. Well, that's completely fine. I mean, like, you know, what's the worst that happens? Okay. Well, what I need to do now is I gotta slow down and pop the sensors, or possibly slow down and get up to periscope depth. But I really want to know where the enemy targets are. However, they've probably been pegging away at 20 odd knots, and they were last seen heading northwest north. So there's every likelihood that I'm heading in the right direction. They do sometimes change course. So I'm going to pause the recording and make sure we can catch up. I'll be back when there's something more interesting going on. Alright, risky maneuver, but I did it anyway.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
We want to sink these guys, so
Shoot 2-2.
do that.
Aye, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and drop my depth again. Let's see, what's M7? Civilian, okay. Civilian and friendly. Right, so we've got a couple of torpedoes with wires connected. We're going to drop down now. I think we're going to head more or less
Passing 100 feet.
west, like so.
Come left 2.
Get up to 15 knots.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
We're going to cavitate, that's completely fine, because they'll get the depth down below a couple hundred feet very soon, and that should take care of...
Making turns for 15 knots.
Actually, may not completely take care of those 2 ships, but
Con,
it
helm, steady course.
should make a pretty big dent in them at least. So, now there's a
Passing 200 feet.
chance
Sonar, no longer cavitating.
that this guy is going to interfere with our plans. But I don't think he has any weapons left. So I think all he can do is warn them, which is not going to work. Actually, it might work, but I have wires attached, so I can correct the torpedo's course. So I think what we may do...
Passing 300 feet.
Let's go ahead and turn a little bit back back towards them, I think. Yeah, I think he's off to go and warn them. Maybe. So, back to me. Let's let this pan out. I'm pretty
Passing
sure
400 feet.
I know what's going to happen.
Passing 500 feet. Passing 600 feet.
Okay, that'll do depth-wise.
Passing 700 feet.
Number 1's gone live, detected immediately. Number 2 is also going to detect as well.
Con sonar lost
Yep.
contact. Master 6. Last bearing 3.
One
3.
sunk.
4. Contact breaking up.
M4.
Con sonar lost
Deed.
contact. Master 4. Last bearing 3. 0. 2. Contact breaking up.
I think that pretty much tells
Helm
me
left 2. 2. 2. 8. Helm I.
that the Skipjack Class 2, or the Reimagined Skipjack, is a devastatingly effective weapon. Is it as good as a Seawolf?
Passing 800 feet.
Maybe.
Torpedo room. Tube 2 ready.
And the reason why I say maybe is the Seawolf could take quite a bit of
Passing
punishment.
900 feet.
The Skipjack cannot.
Con.
And
Helm. Steady course.
the Seawolf has much greater internal stores, so we've got to get back to base more to reload more often. But
Passing 1,000 feet.
I think the Seawolf's also quieter as well. But generally speaking, I think the Skipjack II is a commendable weapon and probably a little overpowered, but only a little. Right. Well, I think that just about brings a conclusion to today's pretty epic battle. I'm very happy with how the Seawolf the Skipjack II has performed. So hopefully you got something from this. Picking a fight with the plan, that's always good fun. And perhaps I'll see you the next time. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.